It's time now to take a look at what's making headlines in today's papers, and Laurent Berstecker is with us here on set for that. And we're starting in the US, Laurent, where an upcoming trial between Apple and Epic Games, that's the company behind the popular video game Fortnite, is already sparking heated debate.
Well, that's right, Thomas. And as French daily Le Figaro reports, both sides filed their position statements yesterday, with the trial set to begin in just under a month. Now, if you haven't been following this story, here's a brief reminder of the dispute. Last year, Epic Games launched its own in-app payment mechanism for Fortnite, its popular video game, and that goes against Apple Store rules, leading Apple to ban the game from its App Store. Now, in response, Epic Games decided to sue Apple and is accusing the company of anti-competitive practices and of creating a market monopoly. It's also denouncing the so-called Apple tax, which is a 30% fee levied by Apple on all purchases made via its store. And Fortnite is saying, or Epic Games is saying, that this fee is the result of this monopoly. Now, Apple has long justified this Apple tax by saying it was needed to fund its cyber security for the App Store, but the argument may have trouble holding in court, as reported by the Financial Times, which says that the head of Apple's fraud engineering unit himself has been comparing the store's cybersecurity to bringing a plastic butter knife to a gunfight. In internal documents which were released Thursday and which will be part of the trial, this senior Apple engineer says the company is ill-equipped to deflect any sophisticated cyber attacks, and therefore that this 30% fee may not be entirely justified. Now, Epic Games will also argue that Apple fails to respect copyright laws, has approved a slew of fraudulent apps on its store in recent years, including fake blood pressure detection tools and obvious ripoffs of other apps and so on, in an effort to demonstrate, of course, that this 30% tax isn't justified.
Laurent, we're staying in the US for our next story, with the country apparently bracing for a, quote, glorious summer.
Well, that's right. That's what The Atlantic is predicting in this article, which says that a year into the pandemic, Americans are finally ready to vacation like the French, or at least domestically. The article starts off by reminding us that while Americans are good at a lot of things, vacationing is not one of them. And it's in fact the only industrialized country on earth that doesn't guarantee any time off for its workers. The average paid time off in the US is less than 10 days a year, compared to 33 days here in France, and as the article puts it, in Europe in general, summers often turn into a mini sabbatical. But things may be about to change for Americans, as many have been hoarding time off for the past year, and domestic travel bookings have been surging in recent weeks, a sign that they're ready to cash in on all this paid time off. The author predicts that if the trends continue, some offices could even go full Europe, meaning they would close for an entire week this summer to allow their employees to take their vacations, something which is basically unheard of in the US. But now, of course, this won't be true of all Americans, with many low-wage workers having lost their jobs during the pandemic and who are eager to get back to work. And now, looking at longer-term consequences, what this means for the future of vacation culture in the US, the article argues that while it could lead to more Americans demanding paid leave after tasting the sweet nectar of proper summer vacation, others might be even more addicted to their jobs with the generalization of remote working.
Okay, Laurent Berstecker with the press review. Thank you very much.